Kindly switch off your video, student. Yash, please switch off your video. Thank you. Good evening, students. Last time we have covered with our lesson number 2, that's health and diseases. And today we're going to start a new chapter, that's lesson number 8, which is called as pollution. Now, it is a very common term which we are learning since our 3rd to 4th standard. We are studying about pollutions, we studied about different types of pollutions, but what new? What is something new which we'll be studying in pollution or with respect to pollution in standard 8? Any guesses? Right. We'll be looking to some new type of pollution and reasons about it, causes about the pollution, what effect that specific pollution cause on us, and how bad or how much harmful they are for humans, for animals, as well as for plants. So let's start. But before starting, tell me, what do you mean by abiotic and biotic? I'm sure you must have heard about this term. What is abiotic and what is biotic? Now, henceforth, whenever you will be coming across these two terms, please understand abiotic means non-living things and biotic means living things. Now, let's understand one more new term, ecosystem. Have you heard about it? Let's understand the meaning of ecosystem. Now, why am I talking about abiotic, biotic, and ecosystem? We'll come to the point as we start with pollution. What is the meaning of ecosystem? Anybody? Let's understand ecosystem with an example. Start imagining now. You are able to see a pond, not which is present on the screen. There is pond. Inside the pond, there are aquatic plants. There are fishes inside. On the surface, there are flowers like lotus. At the edge of the pond, there is grass. There are insects and animals feeding on this grass. These insects are eaten by birds which dwell on the trees present around the pond. Right? So this is a picture in which abiotic, that means air, water, soil, and biotic, that means marine animals, marine plants, terrestrial plants. Terrestrial plants are the plants which are present on land. Terrestrial animals, all these are living together, forming a system. And you don't have to invest something into it. Plants are present. They have got the power to perform the process called as photosynthesis. They are called as producers. There are consumers which are present, which will be feeding on plants directly or indirectly. And once the consumers die, there are decomposers. So interactions between abiotic and biotic taking place within a system forms an ecosystem. One of the students has correctly said it in the chat box as well. It's the system by which the whole world works independently. Now, why are we studying this? If we do not disturb this ecosystem, can I say it is in its original manner, undisturbed? Yes, that means the quality of air, water, health of insects, animal, plants, everything will be fine. Correct? Now, what if the quality of this ecosystem is disturbed or decreased? Will it be called as healthy ecosystem still? will it be still called as healthy ecosystem? Okay, जिसको ecosystem नहीं पता चला है, I'm explaining it once again. Ecosystem is place in, or it's a place where abiotic, that means non-living, and biotic, that means living beings, interact with each other and stay together in an harmony. Now, until and unless this ecosystem is not disturbed, I will say all of the factors, that means abiotic and biotic factors, are having the best quality till the time they are not disturbed. But what if I disturb the ecosystem? Let's say me being selfish human, I am going near such a pond and I want to start fishing over there. So what will I do? I'll first make an office. I'll start fishing. Can I say here, I am decreasing the quality or making the ecosystem unhealthy? Yes, I am making the ecosystem unhealthy. So can I use the same or similar kind of definition for pollution? Let's see it as we proceed further. Now, before we move on to pollution, why is it important to study pollution? Let's have a look at few images which will be before and after of some places. I hope you all are ready for it. Okay, let's proceed with the first picture. That's a picture from Beijing. It's a before picture of the year 2014. Clear lights, visibility is average, it's an evening time. Now it's a Sunday picture, and the next picture which we're about to see is a Monday, which is the starting day for the offices. The same picture of the city looks like this. Such a massive change. Hardly any lights are visible. No, it's not a picture after any natural calamity. It's just a working day picture. And the visibility is so low because of increase in vehicular smoke. What is vehicular smoke? The smoke which is emitted out by the vehicles. Now let's have a look at the second picture of before and after. That's the image number 1, which is a before picture. Let's have a look at the second image, which is the after picture. This is not the picture which is clicked while raining. It is pure pollution. Let's have a look at the third slide. At least by now we are able to see few trees between those constructed concrete buildings. And here comes the after picture. Again, the visibility at the farther end has decreased a lot, right? So these are the effects of pollution, which are drastically affecting humans, plants, and animals. Therefore, studying pollution becomes so very important for us. Moving on to the question, that is, what is pollution? Now, as I have told you with an example, that decrease in the quality of something from its original quality to lesser original or to a reduced quality. It could be air, it could be for water, it could be for land or soil. So can I say pollution is nothing but deteriorating or a decrease in the original quality of the ecosystem inside which abiotic and biotic factors are interacting with each other? Yes? So here comes your first definition of pollution. What is pollution? It is contamination of natural environment that will be harmful to ecosystems is called as pollution. Now, when I'm saying ecosystem, that means it is causing harm to both abiotic as well as biotic factor. Now, what I want you to do is put a heading as lesson number 8 pollution and start writing the very first definition. It's very, very important. Tell me, when I'm saying that pollution is occurring, what could be the reason for pollution? How is pollution taking place? Does it happen on itself, or will there be some reason up for it? If there is some reason, will it be only single reason or only human interference? So now the next question arises, which is what causes pollution? Now, as I'm receiving answers on the chat box, most of the answers are that because of humans' bad behavior or activities which are performed by humans. Is that so? The cause is that contamination is done by various substances. Yes, contamination is done in air, contamination is done as water. Now, will contamination happen only through humans? Are humans the only reason? Or it can also happen naturally without we taking any part into it? Can it happen naturally? Can nature also participate in causing pollution? Okay, there are few yes on the chat box. Now let's understand. Yes, nature can also participate in causing pollution. Now this contamination done by various substances, let's give them a term. Let's call all this contamination causing substances as pollutant. So here comes your next definition. I want you all to give a heading as pollutant. What is pollutant? One which is going to contaminate. But how will you frame it? Will it be one? No, there will be pollutants. So when you will start defining pollutants, what are they actually going to do? They are actually going to interfere in the happy relation between abiotic and biotic factors present in the ecosystem, thereby disturbing them and decreasing their quality. So your definition is, these are factors affecting natural functions of ecosystem and causing harmful effects on abiotic and biotic factors and are called as pollutants. What are pollutants? I'm repeating it once again. They are factors affecting natural functions of the ecosystem and causing harmful effects on abiotic and biotic factors and are called as pollutants. Now you will have to copy down this definition as well. Down? Very good. Now let's understand different type of pollutions. I want you all to quickly jot down and answer my question. How many types of pollution you guys know other than air and water pollution? These two are the most common type of pollutions. Which other type of pollutions you all know other than air and water pollutions? Correct. Soil pollution, right? Noise pollution, correct. Have you ever heard about radioactive pollution? Something new. Yes, there exists something called as radioactive pollution. Now, luckily, you don't have detail about radioactive pollution, but you will have some part of radioactive or atomic pollution. There's one more thing. There is something called as light pollution. New to you, but yes, even light is polluted. Okay, now we will take the classic pollution first. The classic major pollutions are air pollution and water pollution. Moving ahead with our first pollution, that is air pollution. We all are very well versed about what happens when air gets polluted. Now tell me, what could be the reasons for air pollutions? The common ones. Correct. Vehicles, factories, volcanic eruptions, smoke, smoking. Yes, all these answers which I'm receiving. Firecrackers, correct. Explosion, very right. So there are many varieties or many reasons which are adding to air pollution. Can you divide this air pollutions into two categories based on whether we are causing it and whether it is taking place because of nature? All right. So what are we doing is now let's divide reasons for air pollution into two parts. Let's start with the first part called as natural reasons. Okay. Now, as you have already mentioned, yes, as I have already mentioned, few reasons from natural background or the nature, how nature contributes to more air pollution. I've received one of the question on chat box. Can volcanic eruptions cause air pollution? What do other students feel? Can volcanic eruptions start air pollution or cause air pollution? Okay, let's have a look at the answer. Yes, it may or it may not. We'll get our answer soon. Starting with the very first slide, here comes the first scenario. What is it? That's a forest fire. You must have heard about forest fire, which took place in two of the major spots. One is the Amazon forest fire, and second in India, in the state of Karnataka, in Dandeli forest. Yes, even in India, last year, that's 2019, we had forest fire. The forest fire is caused by friction caused between two trees, which leads to small sparks. And this spark of the fire has been catched by dry leaf and very dry wood, which leads to forest fire on enormous scale. Now we all know that whenever burning process takes place, what is consumed more? Right, oxygen is consumed more because oxygen is required for combustion. And what is given out? Which gas is given out? Correct. CO2. Carbon dioxide is also given out on enormous level. So can I say forest fire is adding to air pollution? Number one, by lowering the amount of oxygen present in the atmosphere. And number two, by increasing the level of toxic gases in the atmosphere. So our first reason is Forest fire. Moving on to second natural reason. What is it? It's an image of volcanic eruption taking place in the country called as Japan. And now, can you give me an answer to the question? Are volcanic eruptions adding to air pollution? What can you see? Yes, very correctly. Volcanic eruptions give out lava, pieces of rocks, sand, correct? And when there is enormous eruption of such huge gases into the air, do you think that the quality of air in that vicinity of the area remains same? No, it is but obviously going to change the atmospheric quality of the air, right? So your second major reason under natural reasons which are causing air pollution will be a volcanic eruptions. Now let's guess the third one in the list. Which could be the third major reason? Identify the image. Yes, it's an image of earthquake. Now how does earthquake leads to air pollution? Remember, earthquake is the resultant of friction occurring between two tectonic plates under the surface of the earth. Now, when there is friction, is the land or the surface of land steady or stable? No. When the land isn't steady, a lot of infrastructure is damaged, and all of these things causes a major loss of life and property as well, which also results into air pollution. How? Because when this particulate matter is bursted out or is just present in the air, it doesn't settle down quickly. Or you cannot say particulate matter leads to formation of clouds. No, it will remain in the air for a certain amount of time, causing air pollution. Now, this is an image of cyclone. Now, it depends whether water is present or it isn't present, but cyclone can also lead to air pollution. Yes, the cyclone is caused by heavy or high oceanic currents or wind currents, which takes away everything, whichever thing comes in its own way. So cyclone is again the fourth reason or the fourth natural reason which is adding to air pollution. What next? Can you guess one more major or one more natural reason which can cause air pollution? Just last one. Landslides, yes. Tsunami doesn't cause air pollution, but it will for sure cause water pollution. You are missing type of animal. No. Can you guess it from this image? Correct. Correct. These are microbes. So microbes present in air, it could be bacteria, it could be fungi, it could be virus. All these are natural and living agents, which can also cause air pollution. Yes, bad bacteria, bad viruses, bad fungi. These are also part of reasons of natural, or these are also part of natural reasons which can cause air pollution. So let's look at the list of all natural reasons which we just covered. What I want you to write is give the next heading as air pollutions and start with natural reasons. I want you all to give heading is air pollution, and under that, write natural reason. Now, which are the reasons which we just saw? Number one was forest fires. Number two was volcanic eruptions. Number three was earthquake. Number four was cyclone. And number five was microbes in the air. Now, quickly write them down. Okay, I'm moving further with man-made reasons. Now there is very huge list of man-made reasons. Now here in this list, we will be only highlighting or we will put an eye on the most common man-made reasons for air pollution. Moving on to the first one. Can you identify the image? What is the reason? No, it isn't the smoke. What is there at the bottom? It's garbage. Yes. So the first reason of air pollution is depositing or throwing of garbage in open. Because if all the garbage is left in open, it can, number one, can cause into bad breath. It can spread a lot of diseases. And number three, it can also cause air pollution. Why? Because you all know that if garbage is deposited in open, it will start decomposing in open. And when this garbage or any organic matter starts decomposing, they give a specific gas called as methane. Now, methane is the same gas which we use for cooking as well, but if we inhale it, it is extremely harmful for us. Okay, moving on to the second man-made reason, the most famous ones. What is the name? Undoubtedly, it's the industrial smoke or smoke released by factories. Now that's a very huge, or do not forget this reason any time. They are the big contributors of air pollution. Number three on the list is this. What is the image about? It isn't about dry leaf, no. What are you able to see in the diagram? Yes, burning of garbage. It's not forest fire. It's specifically burning of garbage. Is burning of garbage in open a healthy act? Can you see that the smoke released is dark black in color? Why? Because this garbage contains a lot of things. It includes your domestic waste, it includes plastic, it includes rubbers, it includes so many things. And if such garbage is burned in open, and if anybody is inhaling this gas, which contains most amount of carbon monoxide, it is also lethal to humans if we inhale it for very long time. Lethal means deadliest. Correct. Moving on to the next man-made reason. Identify. Yes, vehicular smoke. Again, a major contributor of air pollution. Following by it, what is it? Someone of you have already answered it. Which activity is taking place? Construction? No, it's mining. And you might be knowing that whenever mining takes place, there's a lot of digging process which happens. Secondly, internal small blasts are meant to be done or practiced, which also adds on to air pollution. Next, what is this? The farmer is spraying pesticides. Are you able to see this white color thing? It's nothing but that powdered pesticide, which also adds to pollution. And this is an image of bomb blast which took place in Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Yes, again an example of atomic bombing, which was a nuclear bomb. So which are the man-made reasons which we just saw? Throwing of garbage in open, burning of garbage in open, spraying of pesticides, mining activity, industrial smoke, vehicular smoke, and atomic experiments or bombs. I'm sure you must have observed or watched a movie called as Parmanu. The entire experiment is conducted on land. Don't you think an amount of air pollution must be caused at that time? Right? So quickly give this heading as man-made reasons and copy down the major reasons. Yes, supernova is bigger than nuclear bomb. Very much bigger. Okay, so we are done with what is pollution, what are pollutants. We have started with air pollutions, and today we have highlighted the major reasons of air pollution, and we have divided the reasons into two categories, that's natural and man-made reasons. Next time when we are meeting, we will look to the hero pollutants or the pollutants which are adding more pollution for causing or reducing air quality. And then we will also go towards its effects on humans, plants, and animals, following by what could be done to save or reduce it. Hereby, I'm ending the lecture. Thank you. Nishant sir,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm done with the lecture, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.